Hey, guess what's happening on this week's episode of the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with your friend and host, Oscar Camejo.
Hey, good people, what's going on? In today's episode, we're going to talk about things that diabetics and non-diabetics should know to prevent health complications. You see, when it comes to health-related complications, they often result from the things we simply don't know, or some of us who just simply choose to ignore it until something bad happens. And that's not a good thing, people. Diabetes, heart disease, heart attacks, strokes, high blood pressure, you name it, even poor vision and fatty liver disease, kidney disease, aneurysms, and a bunch of other health challenges are on the rise. You know, you may have heard this acronym for the American diet is actually called SAD, S-A-D, the Standard American Diet. Unfortunately, the Standard American Diet is not healthy. And a lot of people are experiencing health challenges and complications because their diet or the way that they're living, the way that they're eating is really contributing to poor health. And my goal with this podcast is to help people to make lifestyle changes to reverse type 2 diabetes. So even though these diseases are on the rise, we can do something about it. You see, have you ever heard the saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure? Well, you know who said that? That was good old Benjamin Franklin. You know, he's credited with saying that way back in 1736 to the residents of Philadelphia, whose homes and businesses were threatened by the spread of fire. Well, I look at it like this, kind of equate that today. There's a lot of health risks and health challenges that are on the rise today, and they're spreading like wildfire in different communities and different parts of the world. And just like Benjamin Franklin said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So listen, basically a small amount of prevention that we put in place can make a big difference in saving lives and living a healthy lifestyle. And so the goal is to prevent certain health conditions from developing or stopping the existing ones from getting worse. Listen, I'm pretty sure like me, you too want to live a focused, fit lifestyle and you want to feel alive every day. And so here's what you can expect to get out of today's episode. The value of educating yourself when it comes to your health. That's pretty big. And number two, I'll be sharing some practical steps to help you jumpstart your way to good health. So stick around and listen to the rest of today's episode. Let's go. Welcome to the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with me, your host, Oscar Camejo. The whole goal of this podcast is to help diabetics make lifestyle changes to reverse type 2 diabetes. You know, my story is this. If you don't know it by now, you know, I talk about it often to encourage people to let you know that, hey, you know, I've been there. I've struggled with my weight. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes way back in 2020. But even rewind further back than that, you know, I had gained a lot of weight between 2015 and 2019. So before I was even diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, I was first diagnosed with pre-diabetes back in 2019. I was 268 pounds, roughly. I was overweight. I was considered obese. And, you know, by 2020, as a matter of fact, it was August 2020, I was eventually diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I learned about it when I ended up in the hospital because of a type 2 diabetes scare. You know, I was overeating at the time. I was malnourished. I had sugar cravings and I was making poor choices when it came to my food. You know, I was eating unhealthy every day. I mean, you're talking about fried foods and breads and drinking sugary drinks 2 and 3 times a day, maybe even more than that. I wasn't exercising. And if I did, I was just, you know, doing some light exercising, kind of walking every now and then. But I wasn't, you know, taking things seriously until, you know, I ended up in the hospital. And it was clear that I needed to get my stuff together and lose weight. You know, my doctor was straight up with me and was like, hey, you need to get your stuff together, buddy, or, you know, expect the worst. So that was a wake up call for me. And now today I am roughly 185 pounds, and I was able to reverse type 2 diabetes through a whole entire lifestyle change. So I'm on a mission, folks, to help people to change their lifestyle and live healthy. I know people who've had limbs amputated. I had a dear friend of mine who passed away. And matter of fact, he and his family, turns out they didn't even know he had type 2 diabetes. So it was a sad situation. And, you know, a lot of the things that we go through, it could be for a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding. So here are some things that I recommend that diabetics and non-diabetics should know and find out about in order to prevent health complications. So this whole episode is all about prevention. Sometimes we make things so complicated and we get complacent, and we don't make changes until something bad happens. But, that's not the time to change your lifestyle. The time to change your lifestyle is now. Why keep eating the way that we eat? Why keep living the lifestyle we're living, kind of just going and coasting? We do it because we kind of get into the routine of life, and we get busy with work, busy with taking care of family. Maybe some of you all are traveling, or you just have a lifestyle. Well, it's just hard for you to cook. It's probably hard for you to, stay on top of your health regimen, going to the gym or even exercising at home. So, it's a challenge, and I get it. Back to when I was, sick, like so many other people, diabetes didn't just happen overnight. It didn't just creep up overnight. There was a slow progression of diabetes and related illnesses, that I was dealing with. Sickness and disease, they don't develop overnight, people. It happens over time of just constantly eating poor foods and not giving your body the nutrients and the nutrition it needs to have proper energy, have, the proper nutrients. I was following this guy once on TikTok and social media. And at first, when I followed him, I was like, okay, he has some good information on, weight loss. He talked a lot about, his weight loss journey. But one day he had this video where he put out where he was getting ready for a marathon. And so he was just advocating, hey, I'm going to just eat what I want. And for those of you all who are talking about don't eat sugar, look, I'm going to eat as much sugar I want because I need the energy to run this race. And I was just disappointed because I'm like, first of all, I don't think that person was ignorant of the effects of sugar on health and how it can contribute to poor health, especially excessive amounts of sugar. But I was just disappointed because, when you put something out there, when you're an influencer and you tell people, hey, just eat whatever you want, just do it in quote unquote moderation. One person's moderation is different from somebody else's. So one person may indulge in that brownie, or that high sugary drink before exercising, and it has no effect on them versus somebody else. So I'm very, very mindful of, just kind of embellishing about cheap meals and just eat whatever you want. I never tell people just eat whatever you want because that may not be good. A lot of people like me, I got in trouble because I was just eating whatever I want. So as I share with you the things that diabetics and non-diabetics should know to prevent health complications, I want you to keep this in mind. You see, when I was at my heaviest and just eating whatever I want, not even thinking about moderation, I didn't see anything wrong with eating, a huge brownie with a big scoop of ice cream, and just doing that on a regular basis every weekend, having that as a quote unquote cheat meal. If that wasn't even a cheat meal, that's just what I would normally just have. And guess what? It was a few days later after I had this huge brownie and a huge scoop of ice cream that I ended up in the hospital. Now, I'm not saying the brownie sent me to the hospital, the ice cream sent me to the hospital, but there was a combination of things that were going on. Eating sweets all the time, not exercising regularly, not doing the things that I needed to do to prevent diabetes and type 2 diabetes from becoming a factor in my life. It was my lifestyle of poor eating every day and lack of adequate exercise that sent me to the hospital. It wasn't because, my body just shut down because it just decided to and whatnot. No, it was my lifestyle. So here are some things that I want you guys to think about as you are contemplating your life and what you need to do or should do to prevent disease. Now, I understand not everybody's situation is the same. What I'm going to share with you may apply to some and not to others, but there's things that we can do to prevent ourselves from experiencing certain health challenges, especially type 2 diabetes. Don't think that, because you don't have it, that you can't develop it. All right, so here we go. Number one, I want you to learn what diabetes is, how it's caused, and how to prevent it. And also learn about how to reverse type 2 diabetes. A lot of people don't know that you can reverse type 2 diabetes. And there's other factors that come into play on how to send diabetes into remission. And I know it's different for everyone, again, depending on how long it's been since you've been diagnosed. But the bottom line is I want you to learn about diabetes, what it is and how it's caused and how to prevent it, as well as things that you can do to reverse it. Number two, I want you to learn and know the impact that your current lifestyle is having on your health. That's self-explanatory. Number three, know the difference between a food craving and a food addiction. That's pretty big. That ice cream that I used to have every week, that became a lifestyle for me, and lo and behold, it was more than just a craving. It was an addiction to sweets. Number four, know the effects that high sugary drinks and foods can have on health. Number five, know the importance of daily exercise. Number six, know the importance of heart health. Number seven, know the importance of kidney health. Number eight, know the importance of nerve health. Number nine, learn the importance of eye health. Number 10, know the importance of foot health. And lastly, number 11, know the importance of drinking water and remaining hydrated. So with these steps that I just gave you, they're not given in any specific order, but they're given to you with a common theme. And that's to increase your learning so you can increase your knowledge of different aspects of health. That's very important, especially if you have diabetes or you've been diagnosed with pre-diabetes, or maybe, again, you don't have diabetes, but there is a lifestyle impact that can affect your health. So again, when you learn about diabetes, how it's caused and how it's prevented, and even how it can be reversed, you'll put yourself ahead of the game so that you can never have to deal with type 2 diabetes. You see, again, prevention is key. Knowing the impact your current lifestyle is having on your health, that's big. I wish I could rewind the time on the hands of time and go back and talk to myself from back in the day when I was just, not even paying attention to how I was eating, to let myself know that, hey, you're going to end up in the hospital if you don't change your attitude towards food and your relationship towards food. So look back at that list that I shared with you, learning about food cravings versus food addiction, learning about high sugary foods and high sugary drinks, the importance of daily exercise, heart health, kidney health, nerve health, eye health, foot health, and even the importance of drinking water and remaining hydrated every day. I've learned so much in the last 2 years about all these things, and it has just changed my life. I'm not who I used to be. I don't eat the way that I used to eat. I'm learning about, specific vegetables. If I'm lacking energy or nutrients of a specific kind, I'm learning about specific things to eat to increase that. Eye health is very important. I'm learning about blood vessels in the eyes and how all of that's all connected and why certain people develop eye complications and even lose their vision because of type 2 diabetes and the effect of high blood sugar um, levels. So just keep that in mind, even down to the feet. Like you would think, like, what does the feet have to do with, diabetes? Well, we're talking about blood circulation, you know, and when there's not proper blood flow, there's things that just end up causing complications towards the foot area. People who lose limbs, they lose part of their feet, part of their toes, or sometimes all of their toes or part of their foot because of poor circulation as it relates to type 2 diabetes. So there's so much to learn. I went ahead and even got myself a book on anatomy. I got a book on diseases so I can learn. So the bottom line is keep yourself educated, keep yourself knowledgeable about health and nutrition. If you are not the bookworm type person, that's okay. They have audio books where you can learn about the body, learn about food, even learn about sugar. I would definitely say jump into a deep dive into an understanding of sugar. That's very important, folks. I can't stress it enough. All right. So as I wrap up today's episode, I got a couple of recommendations to also go along with the things that I've shared with you before. Because at the end of the day, I want you to turn things around. I want you to be able to turn around your lifestyle so you can live a healthy lifestyle. Educate yourself about yourself. Know what's going on in your body. Go ahead and get your blood work done, especially guys. Hey, don't keep putting it off. Schedule that time to go get your blood work done. Ladies as well. Know your body. I feel like ladies have more of a attunement, if that's a word, to their bodies. And guys, we need to know about our bodies as well. Not when we get sick and, we just need to learn our bodies and know what goes on in our bodies so that we can do something about it. Learn about vitamin deficiencies, mineral deficiencies, so you can know what to eat and what to, supplement with your eating. Don't just take a multivitamin just because it's on sale at the store. That multivitamin may not have enough what you need. It may not even meet the daily value and the daily requirements for good health. So it all goes back to education. Start with healthy eating and regular exercise and increasing your knowledge. Don't just go in half-heartedly, and just jump on a diet program because it's popular. Don't just jump on a regular, exercise program that's popular, that's trendy. No, learn, educate yourself, and learn what's going to work for you so it can be sustainable. It's something that you can work into your lifestyle so it can become just that, a lifestyle, not a trend, not a temporary thing. You see, when you have a plan, I want you to stick to it. Eat smarter, work and exercise better. You can start by cutting breads, cutting out rice, cutting out potatoes and pasta. There's so many things that you can do to jumpstart your health and nutrition. One thing that I did was cut out those things that I told you. Maybe you want to take a 10 to 14 day challenge, and you too can cut out breads, rice, potatoes, and pasta. Cut out those fried foods, cut out those sugary drinks, those sodas, the fruit juices, sports drinks, alcohol, definitely, and sweeteners that people are adding to coffee. I can go on and on and on. I want you to eat more vegetables, more leafy green vegetables with every meal. Yes, I said it, every meal. Learn about broccoli and spinach and collards and other green leafy foods that, is going to contribute to you having more health and just living better and feeling great. Of course, I want you to stop eating late at night, and I want you to drink a lot of water. As you can see, I'm kind of doing like, what do they call that? The shooting with a shotgun and throwing a lot at you. Because I want you to be thinking, I packed this episode with a lot of information just to get you thinking so that you can go ahead and finally jumpstart your health journey. I always, always, always recommend that you work on changing your habits. The small things that you do on a day-to-day basis will help you to achieve big results later on. Yes, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight, but I want you to be consistent. I want you to be realistic when it comes to your health and your nutrition. You want to lose weight, brother, sister, you got to put in the work. It's not just going to happen overnight. Start by doing the things that I'm telling you. Everything that I share today is not out of a book. It's not out of, just one source. This is literally things that I put in place in my own life so I can lose weight and reverse type 2 diabetes and get off doggone meds. And that's what I want for you too. I'm pretty sure you don't want to be on meds the rest of your life. If you are on meds, the goal is to live a fit, focused lifestyle, folks. I keep saying it because I want you to feel alive. Lately I've just been full of a lot of energy. I pulled a muscle in my back or strained the muscle in my back the other day. And, I noticed that my body goes into repair mode quickly and the pain has, it subsided. It went away quickly. And I'm like, man, my body is healthier today than it was when I was younger. I'm 49 at the time of this recording, and I feel like I'm in my 30s. And I would venture to say even younger than that. I look better than I did when I was younger. First time in my life ever having a six-pack, not bragging. But hey, I put in a lot of work, folks, to be where I am today. I had a vision of what I wanted to look like and how I wanted to feel. And I can honestly say that I have met my vision goal, if you will. But I'm not stopping there. It's not a one-time thing. This is how I live. So at the end of the day, folks, I want you to take care of yourself. Stop putting things off. I want you to live a life where you are fighting off disease, you're preventing disease, but it's going to take you living consistent, you being focused, and you being committed to living this lifestyle. So I appreciate you all for tuning in. And as always, stay focused, keep moving, never go back, leap forward, bounce back because you can. And most importantly, trust God. You got this. I believe in you. Be sure to visit the website at www.beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com for access to free resources and other information that will help you along your journey. If you would like to submit a question or a comment about the show or to learn more about the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle, you can always email me at hello@beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this podcast.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with Oscar Camejo. We hope you enjoyed this episode. As a reminder, this podcast is intended for motivational and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional care by a physician or other healthcare professional or qualified fitness instructor. This podcast is provided on the understanding that it does not constitute medical or professional advice or services. If you're looking for help on your journey, seek a qualified medical practitioner. It's important that you utilize someone who is a trained, licensed healthcare professional who can help you on your journey toward good health.